You want to know who I admire? I have a very sincere admiration for people who are consistent. I just think there's something to it, man. I think it's the single best trait when it comes to learning new skills, when it comes to perfecting your existing skills. Being consistent is not inherently good or bad either, because it depends on what you're consistent at. But the way I imagine it is it's like a force multiplier. If you're consistent at something bad, then it's gonna go really bad. And if you're consistent in something that's good, then it's gonna go really good over time. It goes both ways, and that's on one hand kind of worrying, right? But on the other hand, that's a huge opportunity you can use to become better at something you've ever been. So the single best tip I can give you is not implementation specific to anything. It's not, learn React, because there's a lot of job opportunities in React. It's not learn TypeScript, because TypeScript is on the emerging branch and everyone seems to be using TypeScript. No, it's way more high level than that, and it applies to whatever you do, not only in development, but of course we're all focused on development, so it was very important to me. It also very much applies to that. So here it goes. Start producing content and good things will happen. That is something it makes so much sense to be consistent at. And especially as a developer, people care about your opinion. People care about what you have experienced that they haven't yet. No matter how mundane your knowledge may seem to yourself, other people will truly come to appreciate it. And my point is, start producing content, right? For me specifically, I would recommend to start a YouTube channel yourself. It brings so many good things with it that you just don't anticipate in the first place. And starting to produce instead of just consuming is an absolute game changer for mostly two reasons. First one, if you're consistent at what you're doing, at teaching other people what you know by producing content about it, whatever development branch that might be, if it's React, Svelte, Vue, tutorials, it doesn't really matter. You'll be consistently learning and teaching, which has been shown to be one of the best ways to hone in on your other skills. No matter how simple a topic might look to you, other people A, won't know it, B, will appreciate it, and C, you'll learn so much in just the process of writing or producing a video about just that topic. And then secondly, I recently saw a video by Theo where he talked about failure and it being one of the best ways to learn. And you know what? Regularly producing content will of course lead you to fail publicly. And I think that is one of the coolest ways to learn. If you happen to publish like a video, an article, where afterwards you realize, there might be a lack in my understanding of the topic because people are gonna make it apparent to you. The thing is, that is totally fine. People are not going to be mad at you. In fact, we're all learning, we're all teaching each other stuff. That's the cool thing about it. So people are not going to be disrespectful. At least 99% of people aren't going to be. What they instead are going to do is probably comment on their solution on the topic. That doesn't mean it's perfect either, but it is a consideration for you to make and learn from. So it ties in so nicely. A, you regularly learn, and then B, you regularly fail. The two things it takes to become amazing at what you do. You can become the best developer or whatever you want to be you have ever been by being consistent in learning and teaching and failing. I think those tie in very nicely together. Now, I really hope you can follow so far, because that's going to be the basis for the decision if you want to go the YouTube route or the article route, or maybe I forgot about another thing. I generally recommend YouTube because you get your face out there, you get your name out there way more efficiently than articles could. Now, blog articles are an amazing secondary to YouTube videos, but don't be afraid to publish your own YouTube videos. Nothing bad is going to come from it. People are respectful, they're appreciative of the work you will be doing, no matter how simple the task will seem to you. And if you're worried about what will happen if I publish my first video, are people going to be weirded out that I did that? You know what's gonna happen when you publish that first video, when you click on the publish button? Nothing. Nobody cares, really. Nobody gave a shit about any of my first videos, right? When you get into the thousands of subscribers, then people are gonna start recognizing you. But that's such a long way to go, and you'll get there eventually. But don't worry about it at the start. Just get publishing, make your video about any simple topic that you find interesting, because, if you don't find it interesting, don't bother with it. Don't be like, hey, I can't talk about this because people are not interested in that particular niche. It doesn't make sense. Just talk about what you find interesting, and the people who will also find it interesting are gonna find your video and not the other way around. That tip alone has led me to grow so much as a person, as a developer, and has led to an amazing community as a nice side effect. So that's the best tip I can give. Get started publishing content, be authentic about it, and talk about stuff you find interesting. And you'll be very surprised to how many good things that will lead, and nobody will be disrespectful about any mistakes that you do. And I truly wish you all the best in that journey.